Hi guys, it's Shani, and as you've seen below, this is my comparison video on the new MAC Riri Woo and the original MAC Ruby Woo. So, for those of you who may or may not know, MAC is collaborating with Rihanna, and they are creating, well, they have created a collection which is going to be released as 4 smaller collections throughout the course of the year. The first part of this collection was Rihanna is a huge fan of MAC's Ruby Woo lipstick. She loves it, wears it all the time, so it's no surprise that she has, for her collection, created a colour called Riri Woo. Basically, Riri Woo is almost an exact dupe for Ruby Woo, but the difference is Ruby Woo is just a normal matte and Riri Woo is a retro matte. I'll talk about that in a little bit. This retails in America for $15 per tube for each lipstick, and in Australia it retails at $36 per lipstick. So Riri Woo sold out in America almost within the first 3 hours or so, according to online information I've gathered. In Australia it lasted a bit longer, for whatever reason. Maybe the price tag, it's not as accessible for us, I'm not sure. I picked mine up here in Australia. I couldn't get this one care package because it sold out so quickly, and it was limited to 1 per customer. So, which was kind of nice on MAC's behalf, because there are some people who, you know, will buy like 70 or so of one product and then no one else can buy it. I'll show you a little comparison of the 2 tubes. So they both come in the classic black tube. This is Riri Woo, and it's got Rihanna's signature printed onto the lipstick bullet, and this is Ruby Woo. You can tell my Ruby Woo is a little bit loved. So basically these, you can sort of, even looking at the tubes, you can tell this one is, even though it's a matte, it's a little bit more shiny compared to Ruby Woo, which is a bit more dull. These are both blue based reds. So, as you don't know, a blue based red is a red, deep red that has a slight hint of blue to it, and blue is really great for giving the appearance of whiter teeth because it actually cancels out the yellow of discoloration. So blue based reds are great for giving that really pearly white shine. Basically, these are, like I said, these are the same colour. And I've got some swatches here. This is Riri Woo and this is Ruby Woo. You can't really tell much of a difference in the swatch. The camera's not really picking them up overly well. So we'll talk about the formulas. So the normal matte formula is, for anyone who uses a MAC matte lipstick, they can be very drying, and Ruby Woo I find often can tug on the lip. Like, you have to give a couple swipes to get that really opaque colour and to get it look really nice and set. Riri Woo, being a retro matte, it has a clay based formula, so this gives the lipstick, it glides on better. It is slightly more moisturising while still being matte. I'm wearing Riri Woo now and it is still matte, so even though it looks a little bit shiny in the tube, it's not got any sort of shimmery finish. And it does feel quite hydrating. I feel it's matte, but I do feel that it is slightly hydrating. In my swatches, the camera's not picking them up very well. To me, I feel that Riri Woo is a shade, maybe half a shade, if we're sort of talking a bit more schematic wise, darker than Ruby Woo. Ruby Woo to me is a little bit lighter, and Ruby Woo has a slight yellow undertone. Nothing dramatic, nothing that changes the appearance of it or anything, just a slight, when you compare them to each other, slightly a bit more yellow. These, you know, they're very similar. If you've got Ruby Woo, do you really need Riri Woo? Probably not really, or vice versa. If you manage to snag a Riri Woo, you probably don't need to buy a Ruby Woo, really. I will say one thing though, Riri Woo it's insane. This colour is retailing on eBay for around the $60 to $100 mark, and people are paying for it. People, don't pay for it. Don't pay that kind of money. Riri Woo is being re-released in June, and I believe it's going to be re-released worldwide. And I would not be surprised if Riri Woo gets released in June and then gets re-released again later in the year, because Rihanna's going to have 4 separate collections coming out, and I wouldn't be surprised if MAC kept Riri Woo just going, just because, you know, it's a statement piece. People are buying it. It's blue based reds will never go out of fashion. No matter what other collection colours you've got, a red will always stay a staple. That's my opinion anyway. But please do not pay $100 for Ruby Woo. For Riri Woo, it's don't pay for definitely don't pay $100 for Riri Woo. That's mad. But do not pay $100 for on eBay for Riri Woo. Just don't. It's going to be re-released. Come on, people. So you don't need to buy it. I'm sorry, I'm just really passionate about it. I just hate people getting ripped off on the internet. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's going to be re-released. In terms of it being sort of the main focal point of Rihanna's collection, I am really disappointed, I guess, in a way. Because really, Rihanna, I mean, I know you love Riri Woo, but couldn't you have just done something slightly different? Like, you know, red's quite a safe colour, and Rihanna's not really a safe singer. You know, she's quite out there, she does quite a lot. But it would have been nice if maybe, you know, it was a slightly different shade of red, you know, not almost identical, like half a shade to being generous, a shade difference. A shade would be very generous saying, that'd be different. But, you know, I bought it, so, you know, she's definitely got it out there, and it is a slightly nicer formula, so for that I am happy, and I'm grateful for. Like I said, you probably, if you've got one or the other, you don't need the difference. If you've got Riri Woo, you can get away without having Riri Woo. Just tell people you're wearing Riri Woo. No one will ever know. Really. Unless they demand to see your lipstick tube, which who does that these days? So yeah, this is my comparison video on Rihanna's Riri Woo and the original MAC Ruby Woo. Very similar, not much difference, but you know, they are a really nice lipstick. Do you guys like these kind of videos? I just want to try and start doing a few more things like this. I have a few bits and pieces that I want to talk to you about, and I really enjoy interacting with you guys. So leave a comment below. Do you like this video? Do you not like this style? And also leave a comment below. Did you buy Riri Woo? And if so, what did you think? Do you have Ruby Woo? Have you compared them? Do you get a similar vibe to me? Yeah, so as always guys, the links to my blog, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram will be below. Don't forget, sometime in June, I believe it's mid-June, that Riri Woo will be re-released. That is a mouthful. Re-release, Riri Woo. Riri Woo. Yeah, so it's going to be re-released guys, so mark that in your calendars if you did miss out and you do want it. Yeah, but otherwise I'll talk to you later, and I'll see you.